Straight ahead on 12 News, a Plymouth family escapes their burning home. Then,
there are times when that mental health becomes a public concern.
A local lawmaker's idea for recognizing trouble before it leads to violence at work. But first,
I have experience working with children.
They're still in school, but many college students are also working. 12 News starts right now. Local college students are looking for more than just a quick buck.
According to the latest government figures, about 40% of full-time and 73% of part-time college students work while also going to school. But as Renee Bonneau reports, they're not just working to pay tuition.
I'm curious, what's your organization about?
Part-time college student Helen Medhani can't not work.
I do need to put myself through school. My parents aren't able to help me as much at this time.
That's why she worked her way through the fall job fair at North Hennepin Community College.
My name's Helen.
But she didn't stop at every booth.
I want to go into education, so I'm trying to look for a footing on just getting the experience out there in teaching.
North Hennepin organized this job fair for students about to graduate and for those who need work now, who pay their way through school or support a family.
Can I give you my information?
Employers here ranged from retail to public service, offering students specialized jobs that fit their career path.
A job fair like this not only gives them the opportunity to support themselves financially, but it really does help them to gain skills, you know, interpersonal skills, working as a team, starting to put into use what they're learning in the classroom.
North Hennepin does a lot to link students with appropriate jobs. Not only do they hold job fairs like this twice a year, but they also have businesses come in from time to time and set up tables to talk to students. For busy students, it's convenient and more comfortable meeting the employers on their own turf.
The person can meet you and see you and look over your resume and give you an opportunity to get that face-to-face versus filling out an application online.
Tanisha Gowdy handed out 10 copies of her resume and got 2 interviews in return.
I'm looking to go into teaching.
Medhani found out what job options are out there.
Nice meeting you.
She hopes one of them can help her finish school and eventually teach in one.
My name's Helen.
In Brooklyn Park.
Nice to meet you.
Renee Bonneau, 12 News.
North Hennepin Community College officials say many companies are willing to work around student schedules, and that can be the difference between students staying in school or dropping out.
Plymouth firefighters battled a 2-alarm house fire early Wednesday that left at least $250,000 worth of damage. The Plymouth homeowner and his family got out safely around 4:30 Wednesday morning. The fire may have started near the garage before it spread into the home. The cause of the fire is under investigation. The homeowner says the smell of smoke woke him up. The Plymouth fire chief tells us it was a well-advanced fire when they got there.
A Brooklyn Park man pleads guilty to cheating Medicaid out of more than $500,000. 51-year-old Alwell Tam Inimba admitted to 1 count of health care fraud in federal court. Prosecutors say his company, Victory Home Care, billed Medicaid for work provided by registered nurses when RNs, in fact, did not actually perform the service. Inimba faces up to 10 years in prison plus fines. Well, there have been a lot of questions about how to improve safety in the workplace since a shooting in Minneapolis last month.
Now, one local lawmaker is calling for legislative hearings on the matter. Delane Cleveland has more.
September 27th is a day that ended in tragedy after Andrew Engeldinger, who had just lost his job at Accent Signage, killed 5 people before turning the gun on himself.
Clearly, what happened at Accent Sign was tragic on a lot of counts.
State Senator Ron Latz says there was a failure somewhere along the line to recognize the signs of mental illness. Now it's time for state lawmakers to intervene.
This is not the first time that we've had issues at the intersection of mental illness and guns. And I think it's a line that we need to explore further so that we can, wherever possible, intervene and prevent this kind of situation from developing.
Latz is calling for informational hearings on how law enforcement and other authorities can get better information on people with signs of mental illness. But he admits that privacy concerns could be an issue.
I think we would need to discuss that in the hearing. There are laws about privacy of medical records, and mental health is a medical issue. But there are times when that mental health becomes a public concern.
Meanwhile, in downtown St. Paul, the Minnesota Department of Labor has been busy fielding questions about workplace safety.
In the past, I think the attitude has been it can't happen to us.
Vicki Sanders is Minnesota's Workplace Violence Prevention Coordinator. It's her job to teach employers how to prevent workplace violence.
The chances of something, escalating to the height of homicide is rare.
Sanders admits there's not a one-size-fits-all approach for businesses, but there is a common denominator that everyone should follow.
Put a workplace violence prevention plan in place. It's not required, but it's moving towards that.
Any legislative hearing on the issue wouldn't take place until either January or February. But the Minnesota Department of Labor is hosting a free roundtable discussion on workplace violence in St. Paul on November 1st. Mike?
All right, Delane, thank you. Distracted driving is the cause for 1 out of 4 crashes on Minnesota roads. A ban on texting while driving went into effect 4 years ago, but it is still legal to talk on cell phones if you're over 18. Experts say it's not just physical distractions, though, like phones or eating in the car, that can cause problems.
You're thinking about dates and getting home and making a meal, and cognitively you're not paying attention to where you're going, and so you're seeing, but you're not seeing. And so now you've drove 100 yards down the expressway at 55 miles an hour, and you can't even comprehend or remember if the last thing you went through was red, yellow, or green.
Distracted driving was the subject of a seminar this week at the Brooklyn Park Police Department.
10 years after the United States invaded Iraq, Iraqi artwork is now on display in our area to promote better understanding. About 36 photographs by Iraqi artists are being shown this month at the Maple Grove Arts Center. The exhibit is called Images of Hope, Iraq Looks Forward. It shows Iraqis in their everyday lives. For example, these portraits of high school girls on their graduation day. It's designed to help Americans and Iraqis see beyond the war and break down any preconceptions of each other.
Help them see that they're just people worried about their families, interested in making a living, wanting their kids to be educated, wanting to travel, all of those kind of things.
The exhibit will be on display at the Arts Center on Main Street through November 5th. The artwork is part of a local nonprofit called the Iraqi and American Reconciliation Project. Coming up, Money Savers takes a look in your wine cellar.
And later in sports, Wayzata faces a familiar rival in section girls tennis.
But first, it's a look at your AccuWeather forecast. The numbers say it's a growing trend.
Since 1994, sales of U.S.-made wine have steadily gone up despite the recession. And if you want to start a wine cellar, it's not really as expensive as you might think. Today, 12 News reporter Shannon Slatton gives us some tips for stocking or starting your wine cellar in today's Money Saver.
There are many resources out there on how to stock the perfect wine cellar. Today we're going to talk to a local certified sommelier to find out how to stock a cellar without breaking the bank.
This tastes absolutely over $20 and it's $12.99.
Gina Holman's area of expertise is wine, and she has the title to prove it.
I want to be able to be there and be a knowledge base for the consumers coming in through the store.
To start a wine cellar at your house, she says, think less about cost and more about quality.
The majority of all of these here are under $15 a bottle.
First, buy bottles of wine that will pair well with just about any type of food.
Pinot Noir is the rage right now. Everybody loves Pinot Noir because of its unbelievable essence to pair food with it.
Two popular types that fit the bill are Pinot Noir and Rosé.
Dry, but absolutely perfect.
Then, knowledge is power.
You can get wonderful value just depending upon the information that you can gather. You can start finding specific regions and knowing all the quality that comes from that region.
For example, if you like the taste of wine from the Rhone Valley in France,
some of the wines in Northern Rhone are easily $100, $200 a bottle.
Instead, shop for wine in the southern region for a similar taste at a fraction of the cost.
This is all estate fruit, and then we sell this for $10.99.
Another money-saving tip is to look for wine that is produced and bottled on the estate. That will actually have a better value. To do that, just look at the back of the label.
Once you see produced historic family vineyard site, you know you're getting quality.
Here at Wayzata Wine and Spirits, you can also join the Rewards Club for a 10% discount on any bottle that you buy. In Wayzata, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
All right, thanks, Shannon. Coming up, a musical lesson in a remote culture.
But first in sports, a shocker in the opening round of the soccer playoffs. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back.
John Jacobson with sports, and you could say anything might happen when Osseo and Maple Grove get together, but I think this one was kind of a surprise.
I think so. Sometimes you kind of think you know what's going to happen,
right.
But apparently not. Just last Saturday, the Maple Grove girls soccer team shut out Osseo 2-0 to clinch the Northwest Suburban Conference title and earn the #1 seed in Section 5AA. The Crimson hosted the 8th-seeded Orioles in the section quarterfinals Tuesday night. Maple Grove gets a great chance here. Haley Beat over to Haley Nelson, but her point-blank shot goes wide for a missed opportunity. Off an Osseo corner kick. The ball deflects off the crossbar and Io Port there for the header goal. An upset-minded Osseo is up 1-0 on the Crimson. Later in the first half, Adam Exner makes the crossing pass. Defender Larissa McClough accidentally puts it into her own net, and that makes it 2-0 Osseo at the half. Maple Grove generates some chances as they try to come back. Michelle Karsick with a pass to Beat. Her shot deflects over the net. They get on the board as Anna Savanich puts this chance away. That makes it 2-1. Maple Grove later ties it, but Osseo wins it 3-2 in overtime to stun the Crimson. Just the second win of the year for Osseo. Champlin Park's boys soccer team also earned a #1 seed in Section 5AA. And like the Maple Grove girls, the Rebels hosted an 8th-seeded Osseo team looking for an upset on a cold night for soccer. First half, and the Rebels' Emmanuel Abujar passes to Sydney McLean. McLean ships it into the Orioles' net, and it's 1-0 Rebels. Later in the first half, some fancy footwork in traffic here by Abujar, passing to McLean, who feeds Esteban Arias Arroz for the goal. 2-0 Rebels at the half. But the Orioles play a strong second half. Aaron Berg, nice touch on the pass to Christian Cook. He beats the goalie on the short side, and that makes it 2-1. The Orioles get a great chance to tie the match here. The ball all around the front of the Rebels' net. The goalkeeper Ryan Anderson comes up with a huge stop on Taylor's aim, preventing Osseo from tying the score. The Rebels get a little breathing room later. McLean scores his second goal of the match. Champlin Park wins 3-1 over Osseo. The Rebels host Spring Lake Park Thursday night. Also in Section 5AA boys, #2 seed Park Center hosted Centennial. The Cougars strike in the first half. Alex Moa buries his shot, 1-0 Centennial. And that's the score through most of the second half. The last few minutes are frantic. Park Center trying for the equalizer, but they can't get it. Chris Madsen's shot sails over the goal. And then Francis Caroma's try is just wide here. 7th seed Centennial pulls the upset, eliminating the Pirates 1-0. In Section 5A, girls soccer, 2nd seeded Park Center hosted Prairie Seeds Academy. Joe Rosby to Taylor Anderson, the first of many first half goals for the green and gold. Danielle Schaub feeds Cassie Hemming with the pass here, and another Park Center goal. Schaub picks up another assist, setting up Abby Wessel. Park Center, after this goal, will lead 7-0. Schaub with a crossing pass to Kylie Brown for Park Center's 10th goal of the first half. They lead the Lycans 15-0 at the half. Final score, Park Center 23, Prairie Seeds 0. The Pirates host Minneapolis Henry on Saturday. In girls tennis, Wayzata beat Hopkins Wednesday morning to advance to the Section 6AA final. That's where just a few hours later, they faced 15-time defending state champion Edina for the title. Hallie Kane of Wayzata serving to Hannah Hankinson of Edina, who cracks the return winner. Kane, though, wins that match at 4 singles. #2 singles, Edina's Sophia Reddy serves to the Trojans' Caitlin Eichten. Eichten comes to the net with that second shot, finds the open court, but it's Reddy who would rally to win the match. At #2 doubles, Edina's Katie Engelking serving to Wayzata's Nairupa Galagadera and Sam Stevenson. Mackenzie Marinovich with the winner for the Hornets as Edina takes the match. Wayzata gets a win at first singles. Kelly Yang for Wayzata on the near court against Maddie Boyer of Edina. Yang wins this point and the match. Wayzata also won on third doubles, but they lose a tough one. Edina goes to state with a 4-3 win, and that's as close as you get in tennis. But Edina is usually not even challenged when they get into the section finals. And Was it a great effort, but come up a point short?
Yeah, great tennis, great soccer matches too.
Yeah,
wow.
a lot of good stuff.
Thanks a lot, John. Now to local vote 2012 and 2 candidates running for city council in Brooklyn Park's East District.
Former radio talk show host Dakota-Huseby and incumbent Peter Crema both survived the primary in August to meet on the ballot on November 6th.
Experience counts when you have a representative who puts you first, works hard on the issues, and achieves results. We need an advocate who sees the great potential of this young, diverse city. We must be smarter, proactive, and work. We need a representative who understands modern communication, who can keep pace with a fast-moving society, rebuild our image, and move us ahead in this new economy. A public servant does more than just sit on idle while the world passes us by, and that's where I can help. My proven dedication to transparency, serving the people, and meeting deadlines is just what the business community and people need to drag us out of the 80s and leap forward for a new, brighter future. Your children, my children, and future generations are counting on us, and Brooklyn Park has waited long enough.
Hello, my name is Peter Crema, and I'm seeking re-election to the City Council for the East District of Brooklyn Park. I've been honored to serve the city as a council member and as Vice President of the Economic Development Authority. I previously served this city by chairing the Charter Commission and acting as liaison to the Budget Advisory and Human Rights Commissions. While I've been on the council, we have made progress on many issues during difficult times. Crime is at a 25-year low, youth participation is up over 60%, and we have had a 0% or less tax increase on the median valued home. We have led peer cities in the metropolitan region in job growth for over 7 quarters. Please vote for me on November 6th and allow me to continue to work to improve our great city. Thank you.
And tomorrow we'll begin a look at candidates for mayor and city council in Robbinsdale.
We'll be right back. An interesting cultural lesson at North Hennepin Community College. You're watching a traditional dance of the Yupik Eskimo in Alaska. Dance is a form of storytelling to the Yupik people. The audience also learned about their way of life, which is a very self-sustaining culture. They grow most of their own food, about 80%. Very much in vogue right now as people grow some of their own locally grown foods.
Interesting costumes. I'm not sure if they're from Alaska
Traditional
or
not.
All right. That's it for now. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone.
Community Corner is coming up next.